All right, so a while back, I did like my little thoughts on a little TV show called The Equalizer starring Queen Latifah. And here we are, we're in season 2, and I'll tell you, I'm still watching the show. You know, what are my thoughts on it now? I want to talk about it. All right, welcome back to the DL Jones Show. I'm your host, DL Jones, and on this channel, I talk about all types of story-related topics, movie reviews, TV show reviews, and you know what? I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to do an audiobook review here in a little bit. But yeah, this episode, I'm going to be talking about the TV show, The Equalizer. Now, I did a video on this a while back when the show first started. I think it was after I watched like about 2 or 3 episodes. I came up here and made a video talking about my thoughts about what I thought of the show. So when you think about The Equalizer, like all of us, and I can't remember if I said this in my previous video or not, but you know, The Equalizer TV show, it's a remake of the Denzel Washington movies, you know, The Equalizer, which is also the Denzel Washington movies is a remake of the old school Equalizer TV show, which to be honest with you, I've never seen. I've never seen an episode of the old school Equalizer TV show. Maybe one day I'll seek those out. You have, you know, Robert McCall, which in the TV show, it's Robin McCall, but you have like this guy, or in the show, it's a girl who works for like, well, used to work for the CIA or some type of covert agent and has now parted ways and has decided to start helping people that don't have the means to help themselves, you know, and call it the equalizer. I guess she considers herself the person that equals out things when you have a person that has a problem and they're like the underdog. They don't have enough resources to handle the problems themselves. She's the person that comes along, equalize things, right? When I think about those movies, when I think about the Denzel Washington movies, the first thing I think about is Denzel Washington walking in a room and kicking butt. You know what I'm saying? I think about the action. I think about the action scenes. That's the Equalizer to me. And of course, like I said in my first video, how does Queen Latifah do action scenes? You know, I don't picture her as an action scene type person. Now, she's a very good actress. You know, she's good at comedy. She's good at drama. She's a great singer. You know, there's a lot of good things as far as entertainment that's really good about Queen Latifah when it comes to being in movies and TVs and all of that kind of stuff. But I just never saw her as an action person. Now, I've seen her as pretty good as far as drama, which drama can be kind of relative to action depending on the story. And she's good at that. But action, you know, watching her walk into a room and beat down 4 or 5 people like Denzel did in his movies, you know. And that was my whole point of contention in my first video. I said, this TV show hinges all on if I buy Queen Latifah in those fight scenes. Not if I really think in real life she can do the stuff that she's doing on screen. I'm not looking at it from that point. I know a lot of people be like, well, she's a woman, how she's gonna be. Yeah, I'm not looking at it that point. All I'm saying is from a movie perspective, do I buy Queen Latifah in those fight scenes? And I felt like the TV show hinges on that. And I left some like little exceptions to the rule, and we'll get to that. So after, you know, watching the whole first season, and I think we're towards the end of the second season, there's an episode that came on last night, which I'm recording this on a Monday. I'm not sure if this will be posted on a Monday, but I'm recording this on a Monday, and her episode comes on on Sunday nights. You know, I've watched, you know, so far I've watched every single episode, and you know, you have that question: do I buy her in fight scenes? And the answer is no. I don't buy her in fight scenes. Now that leads me to another point I made in my first video. I said that, you know, they could go a route to where that doesn't have as big of an impact. I said they could do something where they put a large amount of the focus on her solving crimes, figuring things out, investigation, stuff like that, and make the hand-to-hand combat, the fight scenes, be very minimal. You know, I said that they could do that. I said that they could do something where instead of having a lot of hand-to-hand fight scenes, make it more based on shootouts. They can do that because, you know, it's easy to make somebody believe that you can point a gun at somebody and shoot. They could do that, or they could do how they did in MacGyver. Now, if you ever watched the MacGyver show, and they don't do this as much now than when that show first started. But at the beginning of that series, the first couple of seasons, and they still have this person, but they always had a character who was like the military character, So you have MacGyver. He's the one that creates all the bombs and all of the little scientific stuff, And then he had a partner who was the military character. And when they had fight scenes, the military character is the one that handled the bulk of those, And later on, that guy left the show and they brought in another woman, to replace him that served the same role. Now, as that show went on, it got to a point to where everybody had fight scenes. It wasn't like that military character role still had that same role. But I guess as time went on, they got more on-screen combat training. People got more comfortable in their roles. They got more settled into things to where every character from MacGyver's team will get into a fight scene and look good, and it's believable and it looks good, every character. And I figured, that could be something they could do with the show. They could have a character that handles the bulk of the fight scenes, and that would take the attention away from her. But you can't really do that with this character because this character is the character to get things done. You don't want to have the character that's supposed to get things done having a partner that get things done all the time, So they couldn't go that route. But what they ended up doing is what I thought that they should do. They focus a lot of this show on her solving things, investigating. They focus a lot of the show is her figuring out things, solving crimes, investigating, outsmarting people, outwitting people, just doing that kind of stuff. And there are still hand-to-hand fights. There's still hand-to-hand scenes, but they are usually quick scenes where she got the drop on somebody, and it's a lot more believable in the way that they do these scenes, You're not sitting here seeing some half choreographed fight scene where they're just kind of insulting, on screen. You don't see that. They're usually quick scenes where she just do a move and get somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's not like no long drawn out hand-to-hand fight scenes, which I think they did really good. And by doing that, it takes that question out of the category, out of my mind. It takes that question, do I buy her in a fight scene? It takes that out of my mind and lets me enjoy the show, enjoy her solving different things, enjoy her figuring stuff out, investigating things. It lets me enjoy that kind of stuff. And those are the kind of things that I enjoy on these type of shows, the journey, how they figuring these things out, how they're solving crimes, stuff like that. And that's what they do in the show. And that's why I'm still watching it. I enjoy it. I like Queen Latifah's character on the show. And she does just enough as far as action to stay true to the character, but not so much to where you roll your eyes because she can't quite pull off the fight scenes, But yeah, I really enjoy the show. I'm still watching it. Every once in a while, they kind of throw in some topics where they're trying to send little messages and stuff. It's hit and miss. Some of it is like well done. And some of it is like, just the story of the week. It's the woke story of the week. Hit you over the head a little bit. Not too bad, but a little bit to kind of make you kind of roll your eyes a little bit. But it's not so much so that that kind of stuff bother you, you can't overlook it and just enjoy the rest of the show. But yeah, The Equalizer, Queen Latifah is a good show. I like it. It's in my rotation of those type of shows. I got a bunch of shows like that that I watch, Like I said, MacGyver, Hawaii Five-0 when it was on, Magnum P.I. It's a lot of these shows that they're sort of like procedurals, that I watched that I like watching. They solved it, at the end of every episode, they solved it, and I like watching those shows. I like watching those shows because of the characters. They usually have things going on with the characters that you care about, interactions with the characters and their lives and stuff like that. And then, every episode, they got a new thing they got to solve. And you want to see if they're going to solve it, which they always do, But, and Equalizer is another one of those shows, except for this show has a little bit of a different culture, being that the cast is Black and you starting to see stuff from, Black lives, Black things that Black people see. So there's some representation in there, that you don't get to see on every TV show and at this kind of budget, which is good. I like that, and yeah, I'm still watching it. And so far, there's no reason why I won't continue watching it. because I enjoy the show. I feel like it's pretty good. Now, if they come back and start trying to make her, do like these all out fight scenes over and over again and start making me roll my eyes every episode, I might change my mind about it. But so far they're not doing that. I feel like they're doing what they need to do to make this show interesting. And I like the show. I'm enjoying it. So go ahead and check. If you've been on the fence for this show, I say go ahead and check it out, because it's a pretty good show. If you like those type of procedural type shows, it's a pretty good show. But once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.